All right, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different links, all zero hedge but one. Yeah, zero hedge. These are quick, brief, but they're all combined because they all need to be. And then Silver Doctors. I'm going to start with the Silver Doctors article, even though we got some problems. Dollar collapse continues. Over 80% of post-Trump gains are now gone. Banks are crashing. Dow opens down over 700 points from the highs. Breaks key technical support. Now that's important, isn't it? You know, technical charts, 200 moving day average, 50-day moving, technical spot broken in the Dow Jones. Uh-oh. What'd that guy say? Look out for May 11th. Pay attention. But let's start with something I love. Gold, silver, silverdoctors.com. Gold and silver both rise 2.5% and 3.2% respectively as Trump narrative collapses. From Mark O'Byrne from goldcore.com for an article for Silver Doctors. Trump's inability, he says gold and silver prices are surging this morning as the dollar has fallen to the lowest level in 5 months and stock markets globally are seeing sharp falls today. Trump's inability to deliver on a major election campaign promise marked a big defeat for a Republican president whose own party controls Congress and raised doubts whether he would be able to push through tax reforms and mega spending packages. Gold and silver jumped another 1% overnight in Asia, building on their respective 1.5% and 2.5% gains seen last week. The Trump trade is fading, impacting stock markets, and risk-off has returned to global markets with the Nikkei, S&P 500 futures, and European stocks weakening. The precious metals had their second consecutive week of gains last week. Gold rose 1.5% and silver 2%, while platinum rose 0.5%. Palladium surged 4.8%. Today, gold has risen from $1,247.90 to a one-month high of $1,259 per ounce, and silver from $17.74 to $17.92 an ounce. Of course, today, silver ended the day up around 30 cents, 18.15 or so, I think, by the time it ended, and gold was up to $12.56 or so. It was up about $9 or $10. Now we're in the access markets, and silver's $18.18, gold $12.55. Market performance 2017 year to date. The precious metals continue to outperform most assets in 2017. Year to date, gold is 9% higher, and silver is 11.7% higher. Platinum is 8.4% higher, and palladium has surged 18% to two-year highs. Not to 18%, but up 18% to two-year highs. Gold and silver have eked out gains as the dollar and stocks have come under pressure after U.S. President Donald Trump failed in his attempts to abolish Obamacare. Trump suffered a major political setback on health care reform, raising doubts about his ability to steer the economic agenda. The dollar has fallen to the lowest level in 5 months, and stock markets globally are seeing sharp falls today. Trump's inability to deliver on a major election campaign promise marked a big defeat for a Republican president whose own party controls Congress and raised doubts whether he could be able to push through tax reforms and mega spending packages. Growing U.S. political uncertainty is creating concerns that a recent pickup in global business and consumer sentiment, particularly in Asia, may be impacted. Bullion coin and bar demand remains robust. U.S. Mint data shows that strong demand for gold and silver coins continued last week. Sales of gold coins were the highest since the week ended February 10th, and silver coins sales were the highest since the week ending January 20th. But I thought we just heard that precious metal retail has plummeted. Simon Black was talking about that, and I did a video saying, I love Simon. He has great articles, great points, but the way he was looking at things wasn't exactly right. And sure enough, now that we've rebounded, even the retail side, as he was focusing on, has now rebounded pretty nicely. Gold coins advanced 13,000 ounces after rising by 8,000 ounces last week. Excuse me. Splits include 9,000 ounces in American Gold Eagles compared to 5,500 ounces previously, and 4,000 ounces in American Gold Buffaloes compared to 2,500 ounces previously. Silver coins jumped by 795,000 ounces compared to 220,000 ounces previously. And like in the last 2 weeks, American Silver Eagles accounted for all sales. Speculators became bullish, whatever. There is now the real risk that Trump becomes a lame duck president and that his business-friendly policies struggle to get enacted. This bodes badly for stocks and the dollar, and bodes well for safe haven gold, which should continue to rise. Should continue to see risk-averse flows. Again, it's a safe haven. It's the same with silver. So now let's focus on, like he was just barely saying, the markets are down, this now. Let's take a little closer look. Zero Hedge has done a fantastic job as usual. Dollar collapse continues. Over 80% of the post-Trump gains are now gone. The Trump rally, now gone. And I knew this would happen. I've been talking about it. I've been showing you the data. And if anyone cared to look at it, you would say the same thing too. So again, I don't have a magic ball. I do have a magic 8-ball. But I don't have a magic crystal ball. I just look at the data, the real data, the hard data, not the soft crap data, the real stuff. And it is spelling out a very fine sentence. The game is over. Or if you want to smoke a little hopium, the game is ending. It has started and is now ending. Because that's really the truth. It's not over right this second. But everything that you look at, we're told everything's fine, this is good, it's good, down, 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 down. Oh, it had a rough couple of days. No, it's back down again. Oh, it rallied big time, up, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, again, down again. When the dollar was soaring, it was unequivocally a reflection of the strength, or potential strength, of the U.S. economy and its safe haven, cleanest, dirty, short status. Since the Fed hiked rates for the third time in 11 years, however, the dollar has done nothing but decline. And that has now erased over 80% of the post-Trump gain. So if you want, and I'm sure you might like to, take a look at this chart. Here's the election. Trump won. Oh my God. Market rally. Great. Not so great. Wait. Fed hike. Oh yeah, market loved that. For some reason the market loved the rate hike. Isn't that amazing? And then we're back down. Not looking good. Nonsense. Not looking good. Some more nonsense. See if we can fake people out. Actually, no, it's horrible. It's going back down now. It is almost back to where it was in November. And again, this is based on nothing. The man wasn't even president yet. But he was going to do all these good things and, tax the... And I'm trying to be a reasonable voice too, but what about everything that's in place that he has to deal with? The unfunded liabilities, the pension problems, massive trade deficit, $20 trillion in debt. Guys, he wants to spend another $1 trillion on infrastructure alone. And now that Obamacare has been crushed, the repeal has been crushed, they said it was crucial that they repeal that because if they repealed it, it would have helped in some way for them to then go into the tax reform side of things, get that bill passed, and there would have been, the way it would have worked is that they wouldn't have had to scrounge around for $1 trillion, because when repealing the Obamacare, the whole thing, I guess, whatever key pieces were in there that did this, it removed some of that money, that cost, and then they said, well, we can use that $1 trillion or whatever over here, which would offset some of the tax stuff Trump wants to do. But now that the Obamacare plan has not been repealed, they now have to scramble to figure out where they're going to get it. And the range was a 1.1 trillion to possibly 2 trillion or so. 2.0 or 2.1, something like that trillion. So 1 to 2 trillion they may need, now that repeal hasn't happened of Obamacare, to move forward with the tax stuff. Again, I see so many people that want him to fail in Congress. And I voiced that before he became president, when he became president, and I'm still voicing it now. They may want this guy to fail so bad. They may want to try to impeach him. They might want him to just say, you know what, screw you guys. I'm trying. American people, I'm sorry. I can't get anywhere. The FBI's not on my side. Congress is on my side. Nobody's on my side. I'm here for you guys, and I'm stuck. I'm resigning. All I know is I can't get the John Teeter stuff out of my mind. There's a problem with the elections that leads to a civil war. Nothing happened though. He made the election. There was nothing, no nonsense. I mean, there was some nonsense, but he still won. Everything was cool. But I'm telling you, it's a hard one to get out when I see the whole view of John Teeter, the totality, is that it? I'm about to say totalitarian. No. Totality of it all. You can't come here in the year 2000 and write all that about the future of this country. And then I sit back years and years and years and years later, seeing that crap unfolding. Not to the point where the bad stuff's here yet, the real bad stuff, but everything he talked about absolutely has been coming. So again, it's tough. So you look at the dollar, the same chart. Let's pull that back up. This is the same chart. It looks identical, right? And this is the U.S. dollar. It's the dollar index, right? Now, of course, both of them are dollar index, but Bloomberg dollar index. The dollar index is also plunged back to the 98 handle, whatever. This is the 80% gains that have been wiped off, whatever. But markets are going down. Dollar's going down. Now, let me ask you a question. Since the Dow was down, 40-something, 46 or so points today, that also includes the dollar taking the dump during this time period too. If the dollar takes a dump, your stocks and things should go up because they're more valuable in the cheaper dollars, the lower priced dollars. So if you have a market that drops 40 points and the dollar is also tanking a bit too, it's the equivalent of that stock dumping maybe 150, 200 points. Of course, depending on how much the dollar has dumped. That's something to think about. So he says, so is this good news? All those multinational S&P companies benefit? We are sure Wall Street chattering heads will find a positive narrative any second now of how this is a good thing. Other one. Banks are crashing. As in the stock prices. And I thought to myself, I got home, and as Fat Bastard would say, I had a crap on deck that could choke a donkey. So I run upstairs, got to go to the bathroom, got the mail today, going through the mail. I got the house to myself right now. Wife and kids went to Legoland with some neighbor friends. Great. I can come home and do my videos right away. Fantastic. Went up there, reading through the mail for my wife, Evelyn. Chase Manhattan. Can't wait to see what this is. Open it up. If you switch to our bank account, you earn up to $500 cash. If you are willing to put $15,000 in a banking or checking account, we'll give you $500. Well, that's because they're going to loan 9 times of my $15,000 out and be kind enough to give me 500 of it. Plus the interest they're going to collect, don't give me none. So I thought, JP Morgan Chase, you guys need people to put money in your bank account? You guys had the massive bailout. You are the government. JP Morgan, you are the government. You bail yourselves out when you need to. Why are you sending me, my wife, and other people letters asking, please come create an account, open an account with us? We'll give you $500 if you can put $15K in there. JP Morgan, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm sure you already know it, but I'm going to tell you anyways. As the days go by, there are less and less and less Americans capable of putting anywhere even close to $15,000 in any bank account. Slim pickings, my friend. But even if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank account, and I thought I could maybe open a couple accounts, maybe I can qualify for 2 accounts and get a free $1,000, there's not a chance in hell I would ever put my bank account, my money, in your bank, no matter what the incentive was. You remember I told you in 2008 and 9, I had to default on a couple of credit cards. One of them was Chase, JP Morgan Chase. If I told you, the biggest market rigger of all, what would you think? And this is just a fictitious thought, fake. Didn't really happen. I just want to run this by you. If I told you that I went out and bought a bunch of silver with that credit card and then found myself in a little bit of a hard time financially and had to default on it and then settled for half, would you feel like, oh, you could pay back? Payback is a bitch, isn't it? Would you think that? Would you cheer me on that one if that actually happened? Hint, it might have happened years ago. I fell in hard times for a little while. But I used that credit card to buy silver, and I paid on it months and months and months and months later, and then found myself in a little pinch. Oh, JP Morgan, huh? They hate silver. They screwed me out of my futures contract. Got me a margin call. How much money did I put on that thing? How much did they steal from me? The margin call? Okay, yeah. Anyways, another story for another day. So banks, party's over. Zero hedge. Banks are crashing. Party's over. With the yield curve flatter than before Trump's election and rates collapsing, reform was the last best hope for bank bulls. And after Friday's debacle, it appears investors have lost patience. Been tanking pretty heavily today. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. Banks are now in the red. Their prices, their shares, are now officially in the red for the year of 2017. It is now official. Think the banks are oversold? He says maybe not. Maybe not. Say I'll tell you, my neighbor friend David, do you want to do Tijuana Flats for lunch tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not, David? Why not, right? Think banks are oversold? Maybe not. Goldman stock. Down, down, baby, down. Goldman credit also going down. Not looking too good. As they would say in the Smurfs, not very Smurfalicious. Dow Jones opens over 700 points from the highs. Again, not 700 points down right now. From the highs. Breaks key technical support. That's the key. Again, that was what I called key technical support. If it was just down, whatever, I would say what's going down for the last few days. It was up once and it was down even before that for several days. I think this is a trend now. But it's also a trend with a bonus. Key technical support breached. Like the whole of the Titanic, key technical support in the Dow has been breached. VIX topped 15 overnight, the highest since November 14th, and U.S. equity futures slipped lower into the cash open. The Dow is opening at 20,450, which is down over 700 points from the record highs at the start of March, and heading for the longest losing streak since 2011. The Dow is opening... okay, why did they repeat that twice? I don't know. This is the first break below the 50-day moving average for the Dow since September. The Dow is now down 8 days in a row. Again, when it had that one day it was up, and then prior to that it was down even more, several days. The Dow is now down 8 days in a row, a streak that was last beaten back in 1978. Whoa. But it's not just the Dow. Trannies and small caps are the worst performers off the post-Trump address to Congress spike to record highs. So, some of the comments I was looking at earlier, they will crash the market and blame Trump. Anyone who didn't price this is in need of a slap. Someone else says, wait until the housing market corrects. I'm guessing 40% down, since many locations, mostly on the West and East Coast, are still over 300% up, such as my old house, still up over 380%. Flyover country never shot up that much, so the pain will be being felt mainly along the coasts. And he says, well, it's a good excuse to audit the Fed if they crash the market on Trump. He said, and he quotes, the first break below the 50-day moving average for the Dow since September. And then he goes, yeah, that was back when they were throwing Hillary's corpse back into that black minivan. Oh, boy. So anyways, you can see where this is heading. That's why I come out here and do these videos. I don't want to come out here purposely, remember the old, the Eagles, the Eagles lead singer that did his own thing for a while. Didn't he do Dirty Laundry? Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em all around. They love to something the evening news. They love dirty laundry. dirty laundry, meaning worse news, bad news. They want to feed you. The evening news wants to feed you bad news because they'll know they'll get you. They'll get the ratings. They'll get the views, advertising. Yeah. I'm here to tell you. I'm not here for advertising, ratings, anything else. The advertisements that I put on these damn videos, which I have no control over what they are, I just control, put one here, put one there, put one there. That's a bonus for me. I would give that up. I would throw away my damn silver down a black hole. All my prep items, everything. If I didn't have to come out here and read this stuff because it wasn't actually happening. Like, in other words, it was roses and puppy dogs and rainbows and unicorns, and markets were generally going up. People's retirements were great. I didn't see anything about bankers and fraud, corrupt politicians and backdoor things and bailouts, and I just decided to come out here and feed you fake bad news. Well, first of all, anyone with half a freaking brain would come out here and say, well, what the hell's wrong with this idiot, Jason at 4? What's wrong with this guy? He's pumping all this fear and all this stuff. There's nothing even happening. What is he talking about? But you know better. You already see it. You got to experience it too in 2008. So you already know it's already happened. But we're supposed to be behind that. We're in recovery mode. And it cost an additional $10 trillion in 8 short years to give it to us. No banks went to jail. No bankers went to jail. Not over here. Eric Holder. We don't want to go after them because we felt like it would damage the economy and the markets even more. And that would be even more catastrophic. So we felt like we were just not going to do that. Sounds like a great plan. Sounds like that's the rule of law working hand over fist. I mean, that's USA, Channing USA. That's, rule of law, baby. Yeah. What does Gerald Celente always say about justice? Just us. Not justice for them not justice for us against those people. It's only justice against you and I, just us. If you got a problem with me, I got a problem with you, we go to court, justice will prevail one way or the other. But when we go against them, or we want the government to go against them, it's just us, not included. That's what he means by that. And he's absolutely right. So I got one more quick video. I saw an article about fake silver coming out of China, like quite a bit, and they show pictures of these, people creating these very real looking the Morgan, whatever, coins. So I just want to give you a little heads up where you may not want to buy from and that kind of thing to keep your stash safe and know that's not counterfeit. Take care.